Aquariums are what connects the general public to the ocean. Not many of us actually get to experience marine life firsthand, whether that's shark diving or even just snorkeling. And the only way a lot of people get to see and learn about the ocean is in aquariums. Aquariums typically always have the most recognizable ocean animals, like sea turtles, stingrays, and yes, sharks. However, the most recognizable shark in the world is the great white, but it's an animal that nobody ever sees in an aquarium. But why is this? We're able to hold whale sharks, beluga whales, sand tiger sharks, and other large animals in these tanks. But why not the great white? And it's definitely not for lack of trying. Throughout the past few decades, many aquariums have tried to add the great white shark as their big attraction, but none of them have been successful. Today, we're going to be taking a deep look at why no aquarium in the world has a great white shark, and what happened to the ones that were enclosed. Now before I continue forward, if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe with notifications turned on so you never miss out on new videos. Since the early 1950s, many different aquariums around the world have tried to house great white sharks. If you go back to 1954, Marine Land of the Pacific in California, which at the time was one of the largest aquariums in the world, caught a great white to add to one of their exhibits. This white shark was fairly small, only coming in at around 5 feet, but after being added to one of the tanks, it died in less than 24 hours. The Waikiki Aquarium in Hawaii tried the same thing in 1961. However, this time with a 13-foot great white. This shark ended up dying after just 2 days. Marine Land of Florida even tried once when they added an 8-foot male to one of their tanks. But following in the same pattern, this shark died the same day it was added. Now, SeaWorld of San Diego tried 4 different times. In 1969, 1976, 1981, and 1994. The longest survival was 16 days, and in one of the attempts the white shark didn't even make it to the tank. Since then, many different aquariums around the world have tried to house great whites, but never to any success. The sharks were observed not eating and even needed help swimming around. To this point in time, the longest survival for a white shark in a tank was just 16 days. That is, until the Monterey Bay Aquarium was able to find some success. In the early 2000s, this aquarium got to work on becoming the first permanent housing for a great white. It started off with this, a massive enclosure right in the middle of the ocean, to see if it was even possible to hold in a great white. After they found that it was possible, they moved it into one of their deep sea enclosures. Now this great white lasted for just over 6 months in captivity, which was the first time one of these sharks was able to survive more than a month in an aquarium. However, the shark eventually was released because it ended up killing 2 of the other sharks. Over the next 7 years, 5 more great whites were added. The longest lasted 198 days, and the shortest just 11. The final shark was released from Monterey Bay in 2011 after it had trouble navigating in the tank, and after its release, it was found to have died in the ocean shortly after. The actual last time a great white was put into captivity anywhere in the world was in 2018 at a Japanese aquarium. This 11.5-foot male great white was brought in after being caught in a fishing net, but to no one's surprise, it died after just 3 days. So obviously, people have worked hard for decades trying to get great whites into exhibits, and it obviously hasn't worked. But why is that? Is it because of their sheer size? The Georgia Aquarium currently houses 3 whale sharks, the largest fish in the ocean. So why can't they do the same thing with great whites? Well, there's a few different answers to this. The first and most noticeable problem is the fact that great whites are pelagic fish, meaning that they live their lives in the wide open ocean, which no aquarium can ever recreate. All of the sharks you see in exhibits, whether a nurse shark or sand tiger, aren't pelagic animals, whereas fish like great whites, makos, and blue sharks all are, which is why you'll never see them in an aquarium. When compared to whale sharks, here's the big difference. Great whites are fast, much faster. All of the white sharks in captivity were observed to have bruises and cuts from running into the walls. These sharks not only need a lot of room because of their size, but for their speed. Another problem is their diet. Feeding adult great whites sustainably just can't be done. Once reaching adulthood, these sharks feast on marine mammals most of of the time. They also like to feed on big fish like tuna. When the white sharks are little, it's easier to feed them because they eat a lot of what other sharks do. However, that doesn't last forever. And finally, it's simply not humane to enclose a great white shark. Time and time again, it was proven that it couldn't be done, yet many aquariums still tried. White sharks are difficult to capture, and once they are, they're simply not meant to be confined. Who knows if or when we'll ever see a great white in an aquarium again. If I had to bet, I'd say that at some point, someone will try again. Hopefully that's not the case, but history does tend to repeat itself. Alright guys, so make sure to let me know what you think about great whites in aquariums in the comments section down below. But that is going to wrap up today's video, but before you go, make sure to smash that like button, and most importantly, subscribe with notifications turned on so you never miss out on awesome videos just like this one. I'm Raymond Tiller, and I'll see you on the next video.